Hey everyone, I'm Jack947. You may be subscribed to me or not, but either way, this is a tips video for the M16 and Famas. And in another one of my more popular tips videos, the Ninja vs. Sitrep video, which is over 30,000 views, I asked people to tell me what they wanted to see in another tips video. And the majority of them were either Barrett versus Intervention or this, M16 versus Famas. And I was going to do the Barrett versus Intervention, but I decided not to. It just seemed too dull and unimportant. And I think it might cause a lot of controversy because a lot of people are like huge intervention fanboys and other people are just not. So yeah, and also a lot of people use assault rifles and these two are assault rifles. So yeah, I'm gonna start out with M16 with a detailed description, and here we go. So first of all, with M16, the damage starts out at 40 damage and then falls down to 30 damage at 37 meters. And in case you don't know, there's 100 health in the game for everybody, unless you have Painkiller on, of course. So that means that as long as all three bullets hit, at close range, it'll be a one-shot kill, and at long range, it'll take 2 shots. And that's 2 bursts, not shots. Sorry, 2 bursts. And with the silencer, it's 40 damage only up to 12 meters, then it falls down to 30. And that's pretty close, and I know it's kind of hard to judge, actually very hard to judge how far 37 and 12 meters is, and so you just kind of have to eyeball it, guess, but I mean, then again, you're not going to be like, oh, that's like 40 meters away, I don't think I want to risk shooting, I should get a little bit closer. I mean, you're just going to shoot, right? I mean, yeah. And then down for the damage multiplier, and what this means is certain parts of your body will do more damage than others. And if you hit somebody in the head, it's going to be 1.4 times the normal damage. And that's a pretty big multiplier. It's like having stopping power turned on, essentially. And yeah, everywhere else is just going to be a normal bullet damage, all that stuff. And now for the fire rate / time. Fire rate, which is the 460 RPM, is how many shots you can get off in 1 minute. Alright? And so 460 RPM is alright. Not great, not terrible. And then the fire time is 0.065 seconds. And what the fire time is the split second in between each bullet. So in the burst, between each bullet, and there's 3 bullets, there will be 0.065 seconds. So that's very quick. Very, very quick. And so that's what that is. And for reload, this might be kind of confusing. So listen for this explanation like it says there. So for a typical reload, 2.0 seconds is what it's going to take. And what that means is from the time that you take the clip out until you put it all the way back in and the crosshairs show back up, alright? And this is what it is for add. If you're adding bullets, it's like, say you finished half the clip and then you're putting some more shots in, right? You're refilling it up. 1.1 seconds is how long it'll take for you to do that and cancel the reload so the crosshairs come up instantly, alright? And so you have the full clip and you'll be able to shoot. And what I mean by canceling is if it's like you see the bullets pop up in the bottom right that it's full and then you start sprinting or something, it'll stop the animation but you'll still get all the bullets. Now for empty it's the same exact thing, but it's like the full, you shot every single bullet in your clip, it's all gone, and then you reload it, and yeah, you get that. I hope you get that. Whatever, you'll see. And then for raise and drop time, this means that like the raise time is, say you're sprinting and this is the amount of time it's going to take for it to come back to regular position. This is 0.75 seconds, and then for drop time, say you're switching weapons, it's going to take 0.5 seconds. And then the sight time is how long it takes from hip to you're aiming down the sights, and that's 0.25 seconds. And I know right now a lot of this information just seems like useless, like okay, that's like minuscule, why does that even matter? But in the end, it will. You'll see once I'm done finished with the FAMAS thing. And then for the recoil and spread, there's very low recoil on every single assault rifle in this game, so I shouldn't even have to say that. And the hip spread, I'm not even going to go into detail with that because it's the exact same as the FAMAS, so I don't need to worry about that. But something special to the M16, and I'm pretty sure this is the only gun that it's like this with in the entire game. But when you put the holographic sight on the M16, it gives it a huge accuracy boost. When you're aiming down the sights, the spread of all the bullets is very tight. It's very, very tight. Different to the red dot sight where the spread is actually pretty big. And so when you put the holographic sight on it, it makes it very easy to use. And you're going to do really good with it. And then for the capacity, that's how many bullets are in the clip, and it's 30, just like the Famas. So now moving on to the Famas. And with the damage on the Famas, you're going to notice something a bit different. It's still 40 down to 30, but instead of 37 meters, it's 48 meters, so you're going to have a bit more range with this gun. And for the silencer, it's the same sort of deal. Instead of 12, I think it is, 12 meters, it's 22, which is, once again, it's like small amounts, but it makes a difference. It really does. So keep that in mind. And then for the multiplier, it's the exact same thing, 1.4 times the normal damage to the head. Everywhere else is normal. For the fire rate last time, it's the same thing, 460 RPM with 0.065 fire time. You already know what that means. And for the reload, I know I put listen for explanation, but I hope you know what this means now. For the empty, it's 3.6, add 2.1, and normal reload 2.8 seconds. And if you can't remember what that means, just go back to where it is. I'll put an annotation on the exact time. And for the raise and drop, this is something else that you see different with the Famas. This time it's not better though, it's worse. For the raise time, it's 0.9 seconds. For the drop, 0.9 seconds. And like I keep saying, this mount is small, but it makes a difference. When you're running and then you turn around a corner and there's somebody suddenly there, those milliseconds are really going to count on whether or not you're going to get the kill or not. And also how good of a connection you have, but we won't get into that. And for the sight time, it's 0.25 seconds. And already told you the recoil and spread is the same. There are no attachment benefits for this weapon at all, so don't get that confused. And then for the capacity, it's also 30. And now I'm going to tell you which one I think is better, and why. Well, in this case, I put the M16 better than the Famas. And the reason for this is, I know the Famas technically has better damage at longer range, but the thing is, most people use stopping power in this game. And with stopping power, the M16, along with the Famas, is a one-shot kill at any range, as long as all 3 bullets land. And so, at that point, damage doesn't really matter. And also, the 10 meters, it is a difference, and it will help you in some cases, but more often than not, it's not going to be that noticeable. It's going to take an extra burst or whatever, and like I said, if you're using stopping power like most people do, it won't matter at all. Secondly, assuming that all 3 bullets land, you're more likely to get that with the M16 as long as you're using the holographic sight. So as long as you're willing to stick it out long enough to get the holographic sight on the M16, you're going to have a much better experience, and you're probably going to get a much better score with this weapon. Also, like I was telling you before, the drop and raise time for the M16 is a lot quicker than the Famas. And if you're going around that corner running, that's going to really help you in getting that kill. And what else was I going to say? Both are very low recoil, so that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really go into the equation for me. And fire time, exact same. In the end, it's really a personal preference, but assuming you're the average player, and according to the statistics, M16 will be much better. Also, I think they would probably give you the better weapon later on in the game, although I shouldn't really say that because Call of Duty 4 they gave you the M16 instantly, and that was the best gun in the game. So I don't really want to go into that, but yeah, that's why I think the M16 is better. Tell me if you agree or not below, and we'll duke it out. Also, the M16 just looks sweet, and Famas I'm pretty sure is like a French gun, and nobody likes the French. I'm kidding. Everybody loves the French. Kind of. Well, now this is all over, I want you guys to put in the comments below which of these 2 weapons you'd rather see a full game with. And think about everything I've said and what you want to see demonstrated, just so I can prove that I'm correct on these stats. And I'm going to look at all the comments in the next couple days, and next weekend I'll put up a full game of it, and I'll put a link in that to the description. I'll put a link of that video in the description of this video. And so look at the description on the right side if it's been a while since I posted this video. And I really hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you thought it was good. If you didn't like it, please don't get mad at me, but you don't have to subscribe or anything. Didn't force you to watch this. And yeah, don't forget to tell me which weapon you want to see in a full video. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, everyone.